Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is of a film that was actually on my wish list, and really nice guy, First Part 100, got this for me. Very kind of him, thank you. So I got a chance to watch it again, and that is Class of 1999. Which this cover, I hate this cover because it just makes it look like a shitty sci-fi channel film. Which is weird because the director, Mark L. Lester, he's pretty much doing sci-fi channel stuff now, but this is a film actually from 1990. And first of all, Mark L. Lester, he was a director who I do enjoy. It's sad what his career has led to. But I mean, this is a guy, he did Class of 1984, which I enjoy. He did Commando, which I love. Armed and Dangerous with John Candy, I enjoy. Showdown Little Tokyo, Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee, I enjoy. He did this film actually before Showdown Little Tokyo. The Showdown Little Tokyo, I think, was 1991. This was 1990. Then later on, he did a couple films, and now he's doing stuff like Pterodactyl and Poseidon Rex and this shit. So it's sad. If this is the kind of stuff he was doing on Sci-Fi Channel, that'd be one thing. Films like this, but sometimes this is called a sequel to Class of 1984, but I think it's because the director. But does anyone really consider this a sequel to Class of 1984? I think because it's called Class of, but it doesn't really have any characters from the first film that I remember. But Class of 1999 takes place in the future, where gang violence has gotten crazier and crazier, and is actually taking over areas around the schools, and it makes these free fire zones, which even the cops won't go in. And so they have to figure out how to take this on. So there's this special project where the principal of the school, I think in Seattle or somewhere, played by Malcolm McDowell, agrees to let this robot specialist played by Stacy Keach, who Stacy Keach, he kind of has a Billy Ray Cyrus mullet going on. He has these crazy eyes, kind of like the Meg Foster eyes. It's definitely a weird look for Stacy Keach. But he's this robotics guy who, him and this group create these three teachers who are androids. One's Pam Grier, one's Patrick Kilpatrick, the bad guy, the Sandman, and Death Warrant. And the other guy, I forget his name, but I know I've seen this guy before. John P. Ryan, I believe, is Mr. Harden. Yeah, I know I've seen this guy before. I think he starred in the original It's Alive. Yeah, he starred in the original It's Alive and It Lives Again. I think that's where most people. Oh, that's right. He was in Avenging Force, which I remember. Death Wish 4, which I remember. Delta Force 2. Yeah, I remember him in those action films. But a lot of horror fans probably remember him again. He's the lead guy in the original It's Alive. So those are your three androids who are going to the school as teachers. I think that's a fun B-movie idea, is that school in the future, live gang violence, and now you put these. It's definitely different from the first film, and for those wondering, I enjoy the first one, Class of 1984. I have the DVD. Remember the Alice Cooper song, "Take a look at my face, I am the future." I enjoy the lead character in that film, the teacher. Roddy McDowell was good. This really had Roddy McDowell. This has Malcolm McDowell. I enjoy that film. It's definitely a different, because that you could maybe call it sci-fi because it took place in the future, but if you look at it now, you wouldn't really call it a sci-fi film. This is dealing with androids and stuff, so it's definitely more of a sci-fi flick than the original film. Uh, but this to me is a very fun sequel. It's a very fun film. If you want to call it a sequel, it's a fun movie. For those wondering, this is a widescreen format. There's no features. It says unrated. I remember someone telling me that the Lionsgate um, had a little bit more added into it. And I'm not sure if this is the one that's in that was a six-pack of movies with was it Slaughter High or Westwork or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm fine with having this. And like I was saying, these three androids you put in here, the school. Now our lead kid is this guy named Cody, played by Bradley Grade, and I'm like, I know I recognize this guy somewhere. He's a guy who got out of jail and he wants to go the straight and narrow. He doesn't want to get in a fight. Tries to get his little brother out. His little brother is actually the kid who was in Near Dark. But I was talking about the lead guy, Bradley Grade, Clit. Anyone who's a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, you remember the guy, Philip, who he can't have knives, he'll go. He's the one that Freddy kills by making him a puppet and getting his ass off the building. That guy is the lead in this movie. I'm like, cool, that's Bradley Grade. But yeah, I remember from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. That's cool. That he'd have to be the lead in this. And I liked him. I liked him. I liked his character. The fact he was trying to go straight and narrow. You tell he has a kind of screwed up family life at home. Like his mom does drugs, his little brother does it, this new type of drug. I think his buddy early on is really enough Sasha Mitchell. I say I think because it didn't say, I don't remember seeing his name in the credits, but I believe it is Sasha Mitchell, which is weird because he would be in class in 1999 too. And he dies in this one, so it's weird. It's like they did do a sequel to this called Class of 1999 too, which I saw once. I remember the whole deal was that he thought he was a robot, but then at the end he wasn't, and he was just a crazy fuck. And I'm like, okay, all right, just what a twist, whatever. I just remember, I barely remember the film. But it's cool that Grade, you feel sorry for his character because he's going with his home life. He's trying to get his brother out of it, his younger brother, and he just wants to do straight and narrow. He meets this girl played by Tracy Lynn, who was in Fright Night Part 2, among other films. She was the new girlfriend for William Radsdale in Fright Night 2. Again, the acting is not the strongest, but I could deal with it. Like, this is an instance I could deal with it. And she's also the daughter of the principal, Malcolm McDowell. And then strange things start happening. Like the teachers, if the students get rough or the students get wild, they'll show their sort of their strengths. So like Pam Grier kicks the shit out to these students. You know, puts her fucking heel on top of a kid's a foot who's fucking with her, fucking around. John P. Ryan, kind of a laughable scene, but I think it's meant to be, where he grabs the students and actually bends them over and spanks their ass, not their bare ass, but just slaps them. But yeah, remember these are androids, so it's gonna be fucking hurt like a sumbitch, metal upon your ass. Well, I mean, some people are kinky for that, but that happened for me. But I mean, that's gonna hurt like some bitch. And then Patrick Kilpatrick, this guy, whether it be in Standard Cop 2, ATA Standards the Showdown, whether it be as the Sandman and Death Warrant, he's always a crazy fuck. I think he was in. I think he was in. Was he in one of the Substitute sequels or one of the Karate Kid sequels, or maybe both? I can't remember. He might have been both. He plays the bad guy most of the time, because he has a sort of an intimidating factor for a villain. Patrick Kilpatrick really does work as a villain. He's a crazy gym teacher. And like the lead kid, you feel sorry for him more because he helps Tracy Lynn stop this from being raped. And the guy gets punished. And Malcolm McDowell, I like Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell is not an asshole. I mean, he cares about his daughter, but he's worried about what's going on. Right, he could have done a lot more, but he's not. It's not fucking. Weirdly enough, I care for him more than as Dr. Loomis in the Halloween remakes, but I think this is a much better movie than those as well. Because he lets the kid go with just a warning. But I'm like, a warning? Your fucking daughter was being raped. Or ready to be raped, I should say. But he's like, well, where were the teachers? I'm like, he's like, this guy almost broke my arm. And Patrick Kilpatrick, he's already batshit crazy, even though as an android, because he's a PE teacher, and he makes Bradley Grade stay, his character Cody stay, and just beats the fuck out of him. And a guy comes out, he's sort of tweaked up on drugs, and shakily puts a gun to Patrick Kilpatrick. And, he's buzzed out of his mind. He wouldn't be able to do anything. But as an android, he goes into kill mode and just swiftly breaks the kid's neck. And then there's another instance where another teacher takes Sasha Mitchell's character. I believe it's Sasha Mitchell. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it looked just like him. And it sounded just like him. Pretty much pushes these drugs in him so he overdoses on it. Of course, the Bradley Gray thinks the teachers are killing people, tells Tracy Lynn. She kind of acts like a bitch. I do think she acted like a bitch. Give the guy a chance. But I thought, Tracy Lynn is not the most likable. I mean, I thought she did all right, but she's not really the most likable. And a little bit of a damsel in distress sort of thing at the end of the film. But I mean, I don't mind the actress, but I'm not going to say she was fantastic either. I mean, I could say of the characters I like Bradley Gray more, but it's not like I hated Tracy Lynn. It's just that one scene where he's telling her and she fucking acts like a bitch to him. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Fine. When he tries to save your ass from being raped again, how about thank you? How about thank you? I mean, she says thanks before, but how about, give him the benefit of the doubt? He saved, if that's like if someone has a gun on me and someone saves me, I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt for a long time, not just for 5 minutes. But and I guess Bradley Gray, weirdly enough, not only did he star in this film, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, I guess he co-wrote this film too, which is interesting. Because I didn't know he was a writer. Because the writer is Mark L. Lester for the story, and that's weird. It says here, C. Courtney Joyner and John Stipp, uncredited. But yet on Wikipedia it says, okay, maybe he didn't co-write it. I'm just getting my fucking information wrong. Fuck it, who cares? So, forget about Bradley Gray. Maybe he didn't write it. You can't always believe what Wikipedia says. But it does say a guy named C. Courtney Joyner worked on the screenplay. And this guy, other stuff he wrote, The Offspring, 1987, helped Prison from 1988. I like Prison. Vietnam, Texas. Peppermaster 3, Transfers 3, Lurking Fear. Can't remember. Oh god, Puppet Master or Demonic Toys. I almost puked because I think of Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. That's one with Corey Feldman, one of the worst performances of his career. But I like Prison, and he did a good job writing Prison. But what I like about the film, I like the idea behind the film. Androids in the school pretend to be teachers. That's really cool. I mean, I like the idea for a B-movie idea. I like the lead kid, Bradley Gray. I like the supporting cast. Pam Grier is one of the androids. John P. Ryan, he's a good actor. Patrick Kilpatrick is an intimidating guy. Malcolm McDowell, he does finance the principal. Stacy Keach as, again, the guy who helped create these things. Just a weird look, sort of Billy Ray Cyrus hair and these Meg Foster eyes. Just a really weird look for Stacy Keach. Interesting look. It's not wall-to-wall action. The reason I pause is because you think of Mark L. Lester, you think of, well, for me, I mean, the guy who did Showdown Little Tokyo, the guy who did Commando. Action. You think of action. And it's not wall-to-wall action, but he did save a lot of it for the end of the film. And you do just for a low-budget film, some pretty damn good action at the end of the film. Apparently this film cost $5.2 million, and for the third act stuff, it was used well. I mean, when you do see little bits of robotics, it's all practical, which was really cool. Again, Bradley Gray, at this point, is trying to get Tracy Lynn to convince her about the shit. They go to the teacher's place, they find all this weird shit, like WD-40 and stuff like that. Bradley Gray gets chased on a motorcycle. He barely escapes with his life. They start doing war games, the teachers. They go after his family. They kill his younger brother, who's literally like a little kid. I mean, Patrick Kilpatrick throws the kid like 50 feet against the wall. And this is a little kid. This is not, a 20-year-old. This is a little kid. Kills the little kid. They also light a guy on fire, and they try to get these two gangs to fight each other and kill each other off. There's a scene where one thinks the other did it, and they're fighting, and the three teachers go in and start killing people on both sides, breaking their necks and shooting them and stuff, so you get some gunplay there. Throws a grenade, blows up a place. Bradley Gray figures out what's going on and escapes. And long story short, McDowell gets killed because he wants it to stop, and Stacy teaching him don't give a fuck anymore. And the build-up, some people may say, well, it's not a lot happening. The build-up, it didn't bother me because I like the idea of the film, and like I said, the cast I liked. But especially, I thought it was a good build-up if the ending works, if the finale works. I thought the finale worked because the teachers, they grab Tracy Lynn's character, and Bradley Gray, he's like, oh my god. First, the teachers try to make the two gangs think that the other wants them to meet there. And Bradley Gray and his gang figures out, wait a minute, something's up. And tossed to the other gangs. I like the fact that the two gangs joined forces and go into the school to fight these three androids. I thought that was really cool, is a bunch of students with guns using a school as a battleground, and you're not going to see that ever again. Think about it, with all the stuff with Columbine and all that stuff, so much, you're not going to see a film with kids with guns in a school. I don't care what kind of plot it is, you're not going to see it. Or whoever, if someone does it, they have a set of brass balls, because it's just not going to happen. And the thing is, I think in this type of instance, it works because we can all relate to a school environment, and it's a sci-fi film, so it's androids. I mean, if you're making a film about a guy going crazy and killing innocent kids, I can understand. But, when you have a off-the-wall idea like android teachers, then, you can not worry about that and just enjoy it as entertainment, which I think this is an entertaining film. It's a fun film. And the three teachers, like Pam Grier, her arm melts into a fucking flamethrower. Patrick Kilpatrick, he tears his arm off and it's shooting fucking missiles across the school. The other one, John P. Ryan, was that his name? He has like a metal clamp that he grabs someone and actually has a drill and drills into someone's head. I like that Bradley Gray gets to kick some ass, kicks the android's ass. Tricks Pam Grier's ass, throws a fucking axe into her side and sets the whole thing on fire so it blows her up. Shoots the shit out of John P. Ryan right through the mouth, and poof, 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 like the entire back of the head gets blown the fuck out with a machine gun. Really fucks up. They drive a school bus. Well, they drive a bus right into the school and big explosions. There's a lot of fun action going on at the ending. Final confrontation with Stacy Keach's character. You even haven't seen Patrick Kilpatrick, you think he's dead, but he comes back. He's kind of half human, but mostly mechanical. And I like that it was a practical effect. I like the effect. I know some people say, oh, it looks kind of fake. I like it 100 times better than anything CGI related nowadays. I'm sorry. It has a certain charm to it. It has a certain feeling to it. So I'm fine with it. And this film had a $5 million budget. I think he used it well enough, in my opinion. So I think you have a very fun ending. I'm not going to go with every little in depth. See the film for yourself. But I think, it has a nice build up to pretty, I thought, an action-packed finale. I mean, fucking androids, having weapons and kids with machine guns. And, I mean, don't expect John Woo. Don't expect Commando at the end. It's not going to be like Commando. I mean, how many films is better than Commando? In my opinion, not much. Commando is Commando. But, yeah, for a $5 million budget, they put a lot of stuff into this for that third act, I thought, for that low of a budget. I watch films that have $30 million budgets and they didn't do shit. Hell, I saw Frankenstein's Army. It should have been more like this. I mean, these are androids. You're doing humans and robots. Or is it androids? This is a much better film than Frankenstein's Army. This is not fucking found footage, and I can understand what's going on in the action. Mark L. Lester at this time knew how to handle action scenes. Watch Commando, watch Showdown Little Tokyo, watch this movie. Uh, I like the cast of the film. Uh, I even like the song at the end. What is it? Come the day. Dun, 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 dun. Come the day. Midge Ure? Ure? U-R-E. I can't pronounce it. Come the day. I'm doing a shitty job of it. But I really like the song. I really like the song. Come the day. I really enjoyed this film, though. I really enjoyed Class of 1999. I had a fun time with it. Uh, I know I'm probably just repeating shit like I usually do with my reviews. But I don't know what more I can say. Pros of the film, in the first half, there may be a couple points that you may feel is a couple slow spots, but I was fine with it. I personally never got bored. I'm just sort of thinking of other people, but I never got bored with it. I like Bradley Gray, the lead character. It's like, oh, cool, that's the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 who got. He was one of the. Well, he wasn't a Dream Warrior, but he was one of those that could have been a contender for a Dream Warrior if he lived. He was just one of the victims. It was nice to see him in a lead role. Nice to see supporting cast Malcolm McDowell and Stacy Keach, Patrick Kilpatrick, Pam Grier, John P. Ryan. Uh, Tracy Lynn was okay, but isn't the best. I mean, I could say I liked her more in Fright Night 2 than this, because at the end she's a little bit too much of a damsel in distress. But, overall I was fine with her. Don't the first hour or so of the film, it's not wall-to-wall action. It's not tons of action. It's more of a build-up to it and find out what these androids, that when the kid finds out that these things are androids, stuff like that, it's more of a build-up. But I thought the ending was worthwhile. But again, it's only a $5 million budget, so don't go expecting phenomenal Die Hard type of action. I like the song at the end, and it's a fun B movie. I mean, the school bus is going in. There's motorcycles going around the school. Patrick Kilpatrick fires a missile at a kid in a motorcycle and blows out the fucking window of the school. Second story window of the school falls to the ground. Some fun stuff at the end, and just the idea alone is it's a fun. This is a fun B movie, and B movies are not bad movies. B movies to me, like, you can say Leviathan's a B movie. You can say a lot of films are B movies. Doesn't mean they're bad movies. I mean, they're fun movies. And sadly enough, this film did not do anything. This film, for fuck's sake, $2.5 million. That's rounding it up. I mean, $2.5 million? Really? Why? Why did this film only get $2.5 million? Oh, well, shit. Seriously? It was released May 11th, where Pretty Woman, Ninja Turtles, Hunt for Red October, and shit were kicking ass. They released this in only 320 theaters. And that was a studio called Taurus Entertainment. These guys didn't know what the fuck they were doing. This film made $2,459,000, and it was their highest grossing film, Taurus Entertainment. They released Best of the Best to 1.7 million, Angel Town to 855,000, Two Evil Eyes to 349,000. This is a total gross. Martians Go Home, $129,000. Spontaneous Combustion, $50,000. And they only released this in 320 theaters, so that means this film probably didn't get any advertising, because Toys is such a small company. It barely any theaters. And at that time, people were like, Pretty Woman, Ninja Turtles, which I'm for, of course. They even have the poster right there. But goddamn, man. I mean, thankfully they made the film, but I wish that this film didn't have a chance. If this film did not have a chance at all, man. Shit. Best of the Best made that little money. They must have made quite a bit on video for them to get sequels. But let alone Class of 1999, how the hell did that get a sequel? I guess maybe videotape. Maybe this did well on video. So that's why they had Class of 1999 too. Although if you don't make a sequel, why don't you just bring back the original characters? I don't think Bradley Gray was probably that busy and shit. But hey, what do I know? But either way, I still enjoy this film. I really got a kick out of this film. It was a lot of fun. Definitely want to thank First Power 100 for sending me this. Very nice of him to do so. Glad to own this with my. I'm glad to have this in my collection. Either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later.